funeral service for Constable Marven Maphoro is currently underway. He was on the scene of an ATM bombing at a petrol station in Tembisa when he came under fire and sadly succumbed to his wounds. The National Police Commissioner, Tembisa, has condemned the killing of men and women in blue. Newzroom Afrika's Zola Sholwana is covering the funeral service and joins us now live for an update. And Zola, the police commissioner certainly not mincing his words when he gave a tribute early on this morning, asking police officers to use the guns they have to protect themselves.
Certainly, Ayanda, you might have heard the commissioner speaking earlier on, saying that as much as, police officers are meant to protect the community at all costs, but when their lives are threatened, then they are allowed to then use force where it is allowed, because, cop killings have the numbers have started rising. You understand that Minister Bigdele right now is attending another funeral at Mbangeni. So there's been quite a number of these cases. Currently, we're sitting at 35 of these cases, and really, speeches from the National Commissioner and the Deputy Minister of Police were really about police also making sure that, they protect themselves. They spoke about the police officer right now whose life is being celebrated, and spoke about how he served the community for over 12 years and ensuring that people in his area are protected at all costs. And it's unfortunate that his life was taken, and someone who actually has only 12 years serving the country, and obviously who had more hunger to do that. And I'm joined by Athlenda Mathe. Thank you so much for your time, ma'am. Obviously now we are expecting the SAPS to conduct, the ceremony leading us to the graveyard. It's really sad that police are dying in hands of criminals.
Well, thank you so much for the opportunity. It is a very sad day indeed for the SAPS. Today we are laying 2 members to rest, one in Bronkhorstspruit and one in Mbangeni, as you've highlighted, that the minister is officiating proceedings there. In Bronkhorstspruit, we are laying to rest Constable Maphoro. The Deputy Minister is officiating proceedings here. He is here together with the National Commissioner of the South African Police Service. Now, Constable Maphoro lost his life last week Thursday as he was responding to an ATM bombing attack. He was part of a group of police officers from the Ivory Police Station in Gauteng that were responding to that particular crime scene when they were met with gunfire by heavily armed suspects. He unfortunately lost his life. Another member was sadly wounded during the incident. So police killings are quite concerning to the management of the SAPS. As you've rightly indicated, between July and September, we lost 35 police officers on and off duty. So as the SAPS, we are looking into interventions to try and put a stop to these killings and attacks on our members. We are looking at the police safety strategy, which looks at the safety of our men and women in blue. As you can see just right behind us, we know that this is the last send-off procession that will be led by a senior officer. The Deputy Minister as well as the National Commissioner will form part of this march. This is our last send-off march leading to the burial site, where we will give the member our final salute and pay tribute and gratitude to him for honoring his service to the nation and to basically paying the ultimate sacrifice in serving and protecting the people of this country.
Now, the National Commissioner mentioned that when it's time for police officers to protect themselves by even applying force, they should do so, because in most cases, criminals take advantage of the fact that, there's limited rights in terms of police using force against the community. If you could please touch on that.
Well, absolutely. As the SAPS, when we go out there to respond to crime scenes, our sole purpose is to arrest criminals, to keep our communities safe. But when we approach these criminals, we are approached by heavily armed criminals, and it gives us no option but for our members to protect themselves. And that is how our members are dying at the hands of criminals. Our members are being targeted for their firearms. Our members are being targeted for the work that they do. And that is why, as management, government, we are saying we are doing more to try and put a stop to these killings. It is quite concerning, as I've rightly indicated. 35 police officers is too many in a period of 3 months on and off duty. If you look at the police officers that were murdered from January to date on duty, we are looking at 31.
Thank you very much for your time. Now, Ayanda, I just want to show our viewers, those are police officials basically paying their last or final salute, as Athlenda has mentioned, honoring one of their own, men and women in blue that dedicate their lives into protecting communities. It's unfortunate that Constable Maphoro, his life was cut short while he was trying to attend to a scene. Now, this is what they are doing right now, to say we are behind you, and we hope that your memory and what you stood for will actually continue in terms of inspiring those who want to join the police force and become servants of this country by protecting civilians at all costs.
Absolutely heartbreaking scenes there coming out of Spruit. It's in Gauteng, a particular community there, where we're watching the final send-off for Constable Marven Maphoro, who's being laid to rest. Zola Sholwana, part of our team, watching the situation as it unfolds there. And Zola, of course, what's difficult to reckon with here is that at some stage, when the cameras are switched off, the police officers go back to their posts, it's the grieving family that's going to have to do the heavy lifting of moving on without their loved one.
Yes, indeed, Ayanda. It's such a sad moment that his children could not even speak when they were requested to speak. But when they wrote letters to their father, they then said, we are still young for you to even leave us. And also a letter from the wife that was really heartfelt. But General Masemula then mentioned that the SAPS will ensure that they take care of the necessary needs of, the children of the late Constable Maphoro by ensuring that they are educated until tertiary level. And also we're told that there's going to be an amount that will be paid out to his spouse to make sure that at least they're able to live just after this, because we also understand, Ayanda, that Constable Maphoro was a breadwinner to his family. That's how most of his loved ones described him in his final send-off, saying that they don't even know where they will start without him, as he was that brother and that uncle and obviously a father. And this is really a great loss to them, because he's someone that really believed in protecting those around him at all costs. Hence his life was cut short in a crime scene that he reported to with his other officials.
Of course, this particular incident also bringing into sharp focus renewed concerns around just how violent South Africa has become, the violent nature of the crime committed in this country. We're going to stay with these visuals for you. In fact, let's listen in to the sights and sounds of what's taking place there in Spruit. All right, live visuals there once again from Spruit in Gauteng as we watch the funeral service of Constable Marven Maphoro, one of 2 funeral services for slain police officers in the country. The other is in KZN, this one being attended by National Police Commissioner Fani Masemula, as well as the Deputy Police Minister Matale, and Zola Sholwana as part of our team, watching the situation as it unfolds.